Morning, good morning. All right. Give me 1 second, everybody. All right. So let's see. Let's get on. All right, gonna wait a few minutes here, get everybody in here, and then we'll get right into it. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Henry, good morning. Mr. Needham, good morning. Jancy, good morning. Rice, Kadar, David, Huda, good morning. Oh no, I got no water. All right, it's all good. So, let's wait a little bit here. We'll wait about 2 more minutes and then we'll get right into it. Good morning, Daniel. Good morning, Anna, Vladimir. Good morning, Marshall. Morning, Stan. Good morning. What do you think about grab? I can't spell. All right, grab. All right, guys. So, looks like there's still a lot of people sleeping here. Let's wait 1 more minute and then we'll get it kicked off. Good morning, good morning. Those of you on TikTok, I am on YouTube Live. I will be going over the market and whatnot, and go over a few of the tickers that you guys ask. If you haven't done so, go ahead on, there's a link in my bio. You guys can click it to join the YouTube live stream right now. All right, guys, before I get started, let's go ahead and smash that like button. There's about 30 of you or so in here, so let's smash that like button. And Kadar Dodge is killing it today. I think Elon tweeted something about Dodge going to the moon or something like that. Anyways, I'm good, JC. Thank you very much, man. All right. Looks like half the people in the world are still sleeping today. That's interesting. All right. Anyways, today is Thursday. All right, so let's take a look at what we got going on today in the market. Give me 1 second. I'm just looking at the economic calendar here. I think there's something. I think jobs report number is coming out today, if I'm not mistaken. All right, we're gonna apply. Let's see. Jobless claims. Initial jobless claims should have came out already, and they are, wow, actually less. All right, so we had a forecast of 769,000. Sorry, previously was 769. Forecast was 700, and the actual jobless claims in the U.S. is 576. All right, so good to know. Again, those of you on TikTok, go ahead and join the YouTube live streams where I'm going over everything right now. So I would appreciate if you guys do that. All right, let's see here. Okay, so we'll get started right with the market itself, and that's the SPY. All right, so obviously we can see that we pushed all-time highs yesterday. Right at the morning, we kind of pushed up towards that 413.80 area. All right, so it's going to be a vital area to see if we can stay above. Currently, pre-market, we're sitting above that 413.88 area in the market. That's where we are right now. If we can maintain above that, we could probably see a push up towards that 415.80 area, and that's going to be the main area to kind of watch for. Okay, we are super extended on the daily. If I go back to the daily chart, you know, this is the 20-day, this is the 50-day. Look how far away from it we are, and usually when we push up to it, push up away from it, we usually tend to pull back towards that 20-day moving average. All right, so I think a lot of people kind of waiting for that to happen. However, if we do get a push above that 413.80 area, 413.90 area, and stay above it, we can very easily see a push towards that 415.80 area, which is right up here. Okay, so those are the levels to kind of watch for today. If we see weakness up here at 414, I think people are going to start realizing that we're super extended. We might get selling pressure kind of take place in here and push us a little bit lower. Okay. And by a little bit lower, you know, if we lose that 412 area, we can see a move down towards the 410.40 again, all right, which is all the way back here. So with that said, keep in mind that we are a little bit super extended in the market. Let's take a look at the QQQs. QQQs coming up to that 339 area. So again, another area that's going to be vital with, you know, most of the tech names selling off yesterday. It's clear evident here yesterday. We're kind of pushing back up. Will we get above this 339 area after such a massive sell-off yesterday? Again, it's yet to be decided, but if we do, next level of resistance is going to be that 340 area, and if we lose the 338, we can roll down right towards that 334 area, really. Yesterday it got super extended, so we got some buyers, but if we attempt at that number again, we can really easily come down to the 334 area. All right, let's take a look at the QQQ on the daily and show you guys what I mean. This daily candle that I put in yesterday was really rough. It is an engulfing bearish candle, so swallows the entire green candle the day before, and it is, you know, on increased selling pressure. So this is something to make note of here. If we do show weakness at around that 339.80 area, we might get another pop in tech names in the morning, and then another sell-off to kind of pursue and take place again. All right, vital area it should have stayed above yesterday was that 338 area, but we lost it and kind of came back down. So needs to stay above and hold in order for anything like that to happen. Again, both the QQQ and the SPY are super extended on the long side. All right. As far as pre-market movers, guys, there's really not much happening in the market right now. There's a couple of stocks. One, the biggest pre-market gapper right now is TAOP. And I'm not a big fan of this at all. So this is the daily chart on TAOP. You know, big resistance at $8.50. If you look at the 5-minute, massive pop towards that 850, which is obviously the daily resistance. We just drew that without looking at the intraday chart. Selling pressure came in. So If this can't maintain above 730, it'll probably sell all the way back off. But I wouldn't mess with this, so be careful, you guys that are in it. All right. Other than that, that's the leading gapper with 1 million shares traded pre-market. There's nothing really else out there. Be careful if you guys are day trading these short, low float runners. Okay. Some other stuff that you guys can keep on watch for day trading. Obviously, you guys know coin went public yesterday. So it's trying to trade, it's trying to push up today. We know ARK bought it. So if it can stay above maybe that 360, 370 area, it might get a push up towards maybe 383, 400. If it can't stay above 340, it'll probably move back down to the 309 area. Some news with Dell and PPT. I'm not a fan of trading buyouts, but those of you that are interested, take a look at it. PPD and Dell. Again, these are buyouts, so I'm not really interested in them. So that's pretty much it as far as day trading opportunities goes. Not much else out there. All right, but since you guys are all here at TikTok, if you guys want, go ahead and post the names you guys are watching or the names you guys want me to look at, and they'll go over them right now. So since we covered the market, let me know what you guys have in mind, and I'll take a look at all of them. All right. If you guys are asking me questions about a certain ticker, please make sure to tell me if you want to trade it short term or long term. That way I can get a better understanding of what you guys want to trade. All right. All right, let's go. Let's see. Why did I touch coin? All right, let's see. How I'm late. Good morning. Edgar, you are late. Edgar, you are late. Are you plotting your own pivots, or do you add them through TOS as an indicator? I do both. So on my intraday levels, there's some pivot points that I've drawn. Not that I've drawn, that the Thinkorswim platform provides for me. However, my main pivot points, my main support and resistance lines, I draw manually, and those are the lines you see in black line on my charts. All right, guys. So make sure you do your own lines as well. Don't simply rely on the computer. Okay. Kadar, SOS. SOS. Anybody who is an SOS needs an SOS. Holding that 430 support, it's going to be vital for the stock to hold that level. If it does not hold that level, it'll probably roll over and come back towards the 330 area. Needs to stay above 430 in order to do anything. It's just starting to remind me more like SNDL. It stayed above that $1 area for so long, and then it finally lost it. And when it loses that support, that's been support for so long, it's probably going to come down to that 60, 70 cents area. All right, so same thing is looking like with SOS. Again, I told a lot of you guys, don't buy this junk when Reddit decided to pump it. Some of you probably didn't listen to me, and here we are again at 430. A company can be as big of a mining company as they want. They can have huge miners. They can do whatever the hell they want. They can be the biggest company. But if they're not making money and they're in cash deficit, right, that should tell you something. I haven't looked at the financials of SOS. I don't know. But based on this chart, it tells me that this is a company that is not doing very well. Okay, so regardless of how many mining machines they have or how many places they buy to have the best mining abilities, it doesn't matter. If they're not making money, it's all irrelevant. A business is supposed to be profitable. BBBY. Not sure what you want to do with BBBY. They had an earnings. As usual, they dumped. They suck. Every earnings, they just get demolished. Huge short interest in this company as well. Simply because they just keep ruining their earning reports. All right. It has a gap to fill on the upside towards that 27 area, so maybe it could move up in a few days towards that 27 area, but keep an eye on it. If it loses the 2360, it could roll over. There's not much in it as far as its day or swing trade goes. Look at Tesla short term. Tesla short term super extended now. I do expect this thing to sell off. We pretty much had it on watch from 689 and then 712, and then the break of the pivot which was 712, sorry, and then I wanted it at that 785, 784 level, which we hit it right on the head, and now we're putting in a pretty big red candle here. What can happen? It's retesting that neckline at 712, might get buyers at 712, chop around a little bit before continuing higher, and next leg up towards that 785. Or if it can't hold the 712 area, it will most likely roll over. But given the circumstances and what Tesla does and what Tesla is, I do expect the 712 level, which is the prior neckline of the double bottom, to hold, consolidate a little bit, and then shoot up towards that 785. Mara short term, I don't see much in Mara short term, man. Pretty nasty daily candle yesterday. It lost its 20-day moving average. It could come down towards the 38 as it did before. You see once, twice, maybe come down towards the 50-day moving average, and you could try to find a reversal pattern. First daily candle to make a new high, you can try to take the alert entry there. All right. TikTok is asking about CTRM. Same thing, right? CTRM looking a lot like SOS and SNDL. Coming down, hitting that 200-day moving average now. Selling pressure is slightly increasing. If it can't hold that 39.40 level, it could fall through, and we're going back to penny land on this one. All right. Frsx. Shit time's flying today. Guys, if you're tuned into the YouTube channel, make sure you go ahead and smash that like button. If you guys are on TikTok, go ahead and follow on YouTube, because I go live every Thursday. All right, let's see. So FRSX, trying to find some support down here. It's actually flagging on the daily towards the downside. If it loses that 490 with that selling pressure it had on yesterday, if it loses that 490 area, we can see a pullback down towards that $4. Okay. As far as a short trade on the long side, I don't see much in it. Looks like another pretty much bag holder chart, currently setting up at $12 and then selling all the way back down to $5, losing 50% of its value. Needs to really get above that 20 and the 50-day moving average in order to look at it for the long term or the short term. REI long term. Not sure if I want REI long term, Nancy. It did good for us a little bit earlier in the year. In February, it lost its 20 and the 50-day moving average. Nice pop yesterday due to the energy sector as a whole being up. Really needs to reclaim that 240 level if it's going to try to head back up towards that 330. Under both moving averages, that $2 area is going to be vital on REI. Because as you can see, if it comes down here, it's going to get a little bit in trouble here, right? At around the 187 area will be the last line of support for it, because if it loses that, then it can very likely fall all the way down to the 125 area, right? We can see price action here. We have support at around the 180, 185 area. If it loses that, then it's looking to, gap fill this entire move down back to the 125, okay? QSP market. Scorebrand Capital is shorting it. Oh, yeah. All right, let's see. Which do you choose on TOS? Pivot points. G5. It's called pivot points. Not Pearson pivots or anything like that. It's simply called pivot points. What EMAs or SMAs do you use for swing? Anna, I use the 20, the 50, and the 200. The 20 is the exponential moving average. All right, let's look at VS. People on TikTok are asking about VS. Not sure if I don't have data on this or what, but it seems to be a new chart. Anyways, it was making lower lows, and recently at the 650 level, it started to find some base, some good buying pressure coming into it a few days ago, trying to flag here above the 20-day moving average, which is a good sign. If it can get back above that 830 area, it could probably test that 860 and see some rejection. Above that, you can see a move towards 956. All right, but if you're long in this, stops at 650. FTFT short term. Let's take a look at FTFT. I don't see anything on here in regards to a short-term trade. It's trying to lose all its support right now at around 390. If it loses that, it's going to come to the 350 area. Don't see much in FTFT at all. Very ugly chart. David buy the dip. Yep, depends on what. APPS short. I wouldn't short APPS. Not sure why you want to short APPS. Great company, great earnings. Maybe if it loses the 50-day moving average, you can try to short it, but ultimately the short would be under 76.50. But great company. I'm not really interested in shorting APPS. Jemaya, I like it for long-term potential, but looks like a head and shoulders on the daily. What do you think? If you're in it for the long term, don't worry about what the intraday short-term patterns look like. So if you want to invest in a company long term, what it's doing right now, what it's done in the last 3 months is irrelevant. Henry FCX. Nice chart, FCX. Respecting that 20-day, 50-day, getting back above it. Great buying volume yesterday on dividend day. If it can maintain above 36.17, could see a continuation back towards that 36.50 and ultimately 39. Right, needs to get some momentum going back into it here. Had a nice day yesterday. D-Dodge for day trade. All right, D-Dodge for day trade coming into the 200-day moving average yesterday. It got rejected. Let's take a look at the daily chart here. For a day trade, you have a level of 93, and above that, you have some resistance at 95.50. Ultimately, if we can get above the 95.50, you can take a day trade on it. Keep your stops tight, or you can take a dip buy opportunity at 93. Let's see where also has, if it gets above the 95, it can come up towards the 98 area. All right, so it's got to be the game plan for DDOG. CCIV long term, sure, as long as you understand the financials and as long as you understand what they're planning on doing with their cars. Have they sold any cars? Do they plan on selling any cars? And so forth. Anything long term, you guys really need to understand that you need to look at the financials, the future outlook, the balance sheet. Are they even profitable? Will they be profitable? What their goals is for going into the future. Tiffany, good morning. You are late. Stan, APPS short or APPS short term. APPS short term. Let's take a look at it. Breaking out of that wedge here, it's retesting the 20-day and the 50-day. You could try it here. Stops would have to be at least 75. It's a bigger stop. It's been super extended. It's been on a massive run, so it might consolidate a little bit. But on the short term, you could try it right here around the 82 level with stops at around 75. Again, I don't think it has a proper setup in it right now. But I like the stock as a company and probably long term. All right. TQQ for long term. You don't invest in things like that for long term, especially like pro-share trust, like ETFs like that. You don't invest in those long term, or I don't, anyways. Thoughts on Helicity? I believe Helicity is HOL. Another bag holder chart. This thing just got dumped on. SPAC prices at around $10.50, $9. So it's starting to find some value at SPAC prices, which is pretty scary here. But yeah, not much there. You can probably try to get it at the value prices of the SPAC, which is around $10.50, probably $10, and see if you can get a pop back towards that 1180 area for something short term. But other than that, I wouldn't be interested in this one unless you know something about the company and you want to buy it in the long term, because in the short term it's not really going to give you much of a run for your money. It might pop up towards $12, maybe 13, but again, you would need to have buyers down here. But if you lose that $10, it's sayonara for this stock. It's 5 a.m. here. NEO in 6 months. NEO is a at least minimum 1 year plan. I don't think it's gonna help you out much in 6 months, to be honest with you. So at least 1 year on NEO. NEO is dancing at 37. Looks like it will get any dip. It's getting tight. NEO is pinching up. If we take a look at the NEO chart, NEO is getting really pinchy. Getting pinched between the 20 and the 200 moving average. So I don't know what this company's PR is doing, but it really needs to start doing some legwork. The tighter this gets and the less we have buyers, the more chances of it losing the 200-day moving average, and then I don't want to even think about that. But ultimately, this day I had yesterday is not very appealing. It's a bearish engulfing, swallowing that day on Wednesday, I guess it was. Sorry, Tuesday. So dip buys, you can try it around 35. I'm in this long term, so my last ad was at 34 on March 26th. So if we lose that, then I'm gonna add to it. My last ad, I'm hoping, is either gonna be 34 or 30. I really hope we don't break the 200 moving average on this for my long term. Really expecting this to hold the 200-day moving average. Hal for a swing trade. Let's take a look at Hal. RGBP, I'll take a look at that. Hal needs to get back above that $22 area. Rejected this prior pivot right there at 22. You can see that. If it can reclaim back above 22, it has a nice run towards 23.40, possibly $24. All right. Nice volume yesterday. Again, needs to clear 22 in order to get above to that $23.50, $24 area. RGBP. Oops. Let's take a look at RGBP. Don't waste your time on RGBP. I don't know why people give me tickers that are like sub $1. It just drives me nuts. NNDM. All right, NNDM. This is a good company, man. This is a long term. If you're gonna trade this, it's got to be long term. Get entries anywhere around $7. I'm starting to look into this to see if I want to buy this thing long term, but I'm trying to do some due diligence on it to see if I want to invest in this long term. I do like the company. At around $7, a pretty good price. $5.97, $6 is even better. We all know ARK is in this, and she's bought multiple times. But regardless of what ARK is doing, you got to do your research on this to see if you want to believe in the company long term. I need to do some more research on this, but I'm leaning towards wanting to invest in this thing long term. $7 area is golden. Room to add towards 6 on NNDM, and it's got to be long term. All right, guys. So go ahead and smash that like button if you guys did enjoy this content. Make sure you know every Thursday I do go live. I will be live on TikTok and YouTube, but all the screen sharing and all the charts is on YouTube, so you guys can tune in and look at that. I know it's early morning for some of you guys on the West Coast, but thank you guys all for tuning in. And don't forget, next Thursday I will be live on here again, and I will catch you guys all then. All right? You make sure you have a wonderful day and trade safe.